The number one thing I've noticed people lack after 600 hours of playing Space Marine 2. Straight up, it's target priority. This is a pretty good point. I think target priority is definitely very important. However, I also want to normalize pinging very problematic enemies. Definitely, I think target priority is a fair thing to point out. But I also think you need to ping. You need to make sure you actually let people know about the priority target. I think Biovores, pretty good example of this. I always try to ping Biovores, but I also want to point out sorcerers as well, because sorcerers can just res, chaos majors. So yeah, let's continue the post. The game tells you to focus the Hellbrute, for example, but that is wrong. Interesting. The guy the Hellbrute focuses will stay on the Hellbrute. Yeah, of course. The other two Battle Brothers should focus on the extremist that spawns with the Hellbrute and try to draw aggro of majors, etc. away from the guy who 1v1s the Hellbrute. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, no. That's like a legitimate strat around the Hellbrute's aggro. I think aggro obviously is a very important part of this conversation. If you're getting jumped on by a Ravener, I'm not too sure how you can switch your priority target there. The Ravener is your priority target. So pretty much any enemy that has your aggro that is threatening to the team, you should pretty much try to take out. However, I still want to point out pinging the enemies. If you ping a Ravener that is getting jumped on you, and let's say it's keeping you from the Hellbrute fight, maybe that will allow the player who is not fighting the Hellbrute currently to come out and help you with the Ravener. So I think target priority is definitely something that's very important. In siege mode, sometimes it's a little bit harder to navigate. In operations, though, it could definitely save a run if you just ping the Biovore. If you don't do that, the chances of a Chaos Sorcerer spawning an insane amount of majors are very high. Your teammate who focuses the Hellbrute will probably die, and the team will quickly fall apart. Learn target priority. Play smart. Yeah, 100% I agree with this post. I do think this can get a little bit deeper into the conversation as far as, like, if you are 1v1ing the Hellbrute and you need help, the best thing you can pretty much do there is to just try to stay safe. You don't really need to go for any attacks that you're not comfortable with. Like, if the Hellbrute is heavily going after you, eventually the Hellbrute is going to get bored with you if you aren't actually attacking it. If you're just, rolling away and everything. I mean, that's probably a fair way to stay alive. However, you also got to consider that in this scenario, one of your teammates are getting jumped on by a Ravener for whatever reason in this Chaos mission. But yes, that teammate who already has extremist aggro, potentially the Hellbrute can teleport over there and make their problems a lot worse. So you definitely want to make sure you are balancing the aggro correctly. However, yeah, if you're getting 1v1 by a Hellbrute and you need help, I mean, pinging him, just making sure that, like, hey, people, I'm kind of in a rough spot here. That's probably the best thing you can do outside of, obviously avoiding the Hellbrute's attacks. But keep in mind, that Hellbrute can potentially teleport to one of your teammates who probably are dealing with an extremist. So just navigating the aggro here can definitely potentially save your run. But yeah, let's go to the comments to see if anyone has anything to add, because I think this is a very interesting conversation that can potentially, reveal how you may or may not be ruining runs, maybe. Playing Sniper opened my eyes to this when it became my main. It was always obvious which threats were serious, but playing different classes can offer different perspectives. I always got put with a Bulwark and Assault player combo, so someone had to cover them and be reliable. Zone Throws and Barbed Stranglers are my main two targets. Yeah, good call. And Snipers, I guess. Can't have fatheads bombarding the squad, and I don't want a Xeno Garden planted around the front line in 2 seconds. Yeah, Vine Mines can seriously still be a problem, but I mean, overall, I think with the new tools we have in the game, with the new buffs and stuff, I think Vine Mines are a little bit more manageable. Plus, I think I've seen a lot of teammates just kind of pop them as soon as they pop up, so that's always good. Devourers and Snipers can be evaded relatively easily by everyone, but they're high priority too. Okay, yeah, I did mention Snipers. The amount of Snipers I've seen run away from Zoanthropes and or 1v1 a melee warrior while we're under heavy fire is disgraceful. Oh, dude, yeah, no, seriously, if you're This is a great conversation to bring this up. If you're playing sniper and there are zone thropes just floating in the air and you're not taking them out, honestly, if you have a sniper in your team and there's zone thropes floating in the air for more than 5 minutes, there is a problem. There is a problem happening. Seriously, snipers, deal with the zone thropes as soon as they pop up. Even if you have a major who's aggroing you or anything like that, just, you know, a quick 1-2 punch to the zone thropes is all you need. So you can actually potentially stay in the fight that you are currently in and still find an opportunity to take out a zone thrope. But at the very least, snipers should be able to absolutely melt zone thropes and neurothropes sometimes. Or another example, the tactical that wastes their scan on a bunch of gaunts instead of saving it for serious threat situations. Yes. the classic scan everything on the map strategy. No, like seriously, scan's been tricky for me personally because I've been using the scan where the, you know, if an enemy's within the scan, they are scanned, but if they're outside of the scan, they are not scanned. That perk specifically is best to use, 100% best to use for priority targets, extremists, terminus, stuff like that. And then not to mention you have battle focus, so you don't even need scan that often. But you also have the capability to pick up ammo boxes to reduce cooldown for your scan as well. So I think tactical is a very, very good example as well. But tactical also has ways to just scan without using their actual, you know, scan perk. They do have battle focus, and not to mention, if they do use their scan quite often, they have ways to have really good cooldown, which is cool. So I think overall, yes, snipers go after zone thropes, tacticals, scan the toughest guy. Definitely a good call. But I have seen a fair amount of tacticals waste scan on majors that are just like a couple major. I mean, I've wasted scan on that. Dude, honestly, yeah, my scans have been like pretty inconsistent. But I always use the scans that are best used, I guess, against extremists and terminus. So I normally just wait for, you know, I wait for them to pop up. But if there's like a sticky situation where I notice like we're all really low, then I might use scan on just whatever enemy seems to be the issue there. But yeah, definitely good points here. There should be an order of priority targets. It also does vary on the game mode, map, and terrain and what class you're playing as. Like if a zone thrope is stuck behind terrain for a bit, leave it alone. But if it's out there in the open, it needs to go down. Dude, are zone thropes still getting stuck in like weird spots like behind walls or something? I definitely agree in siege mode dealing with extremists and majors first, as you can't duel a Hellbrute or a Carnifex while getting absolutely buggered by enemies. Dude, yeah, in siege mode specifically, I think making sure you can create some space just to focus an enemy, dude, it means so much. And yeah, Carnifex and Hellbrutes can potentially make that a lot worse. Dude, seriously, I cannot suggest anymore that people should get guardsmen. You know what? No, I'm saying that I'm suggesting it too often. I really think guardsmen are really good for siege mode. I can't suggest it enough. Seriously, having some sort of distraction for anything, to be completely honest, definitely helps out. I just really don't understand how people are okay with leaving Terminators with a Gatling gun alone, or even a sorcerer. Dude, the sorcerers are really... See, the Terminators instantly punish you, but I feel like the sorcerer can really make fights just that much out of reach if they continuously, you know, reanimate. In general, I feel like the Tyranids, aside from extremists, people should really prioritize Devourers first, then Snipers, then Barbed Stranglers, then Whips, then Bone Swords. Shouldn't be trying to duel 3 Bone Swords while 2 Devourers job lob a few volleys and then you're dead. Makes no sense. Dude, yeah, honestly, those... I think what they're referring to with the Devoured lobbies, yeah, it's definitely the shotgun firing, right? The, you know, the multiple projectiles. Yeah, they can seriously shred you. They can shred you 100%, especially in higher difficulties, especially if you don't have any armor. Snipers, I think snipers, to be completely honest, though, they kind of bothered me just a little bit more because for snipers, the opportunities you get within close range combat are that much slimmer because now every second you have to dodge a sniper. I guess it really depends, though. Sometimes snipers can just continuously backtrack themselves out of the fight, so maybe that's interesting. And then Barbed Stranglers, I would think... Am I missing something with Devourers? Because I would think Barbed Stranglers actually would be above Snipers and Devourers. I think this, again, this really depends on the class. The whips are pretty interesting. Bone swords I like fighting. Yeah, devourers are pretty tough. They can hit you really hard. But lob a few volleys. But yes, I think, dude, honestly, snipers and vine mines can definitely be pretty troublesome too. It's really about, when it comes to the vine mines, it's really about just ignoring them and then building up. So I can understand if you actually react quick enough to take them off the table. It's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, this is fair. This is definitely fair. Good points. I think the one thing people lack that play 600 plus hours is patience. You have to realize that no matter how good you get at the game or how efficient you are, there will always be people that are just playing for fun. They aren't interested in what wave number they get, just as long as it's enjoyable to play. Okay, I see what they're getting at, and it's fair. I definitely think patience is a key thing as well, just making sure that you can find the opportunities you need, but you can't make the argument that sniping zoanthropes isn't fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is good advice for a reason. Snipers, at the very least, when it comes to taking out zoanthropes, it's very fun, and not to mention it takes like a couple seconds. So, I mean, keeping a zoanthrope alive for the just for the sake of patience, I don't think that's a great idea. I genuinely think that if the sniper was like, you know what, I'm gonna take my time with that zoanthrope, I just don't think that's gonna work out for the rest of the team, to be completely honest. But it's interesting. It's an interesting idea. I understand wanting to properly orient and prioritize targets and all that, but some people just want to shoot stuff. I mean, dude, it goes both ways, to be honest. Like, the reason why certain classes have a priority target is because they're basically capable of taking that target out as quickly as possible, basically. I mean, even in the sense of scanning and making sure you scan the right enemy, I highly doubt that it is going to be any more fun to scan gaunts than it is to scan a terminus enemy. So sometimes things just working correctly and working smoothly for everyone, that is fun. That is fun. Like, honestly, lining up a big play in this game is very enjoyable. Like getting a scan on a terminus, going up, putting down the Melta, rolling away, hitting an extremis with that Melta also, so you get like a 2-for-1 situation. Like, all of that is very fun. I understand there's going to be people who just jump into an operation and they don't really care. They just want to take out gaunts, take out whatever's in front of them. That's cool. That's definitely not a 600-hour player, right? You know what I mean? And if it was, they would have the courtesy to probably jump into a lower difficulty. But yeah, I guess it really depends. But yeah, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this one. Do you have a priority target? Do you have a target that you ping, make sure you isolate and take out as quick as possible? Or do you just, are you just waiting around for the perfect moment to take out that zoanthrope? I guess, again, this definitely depends on your class, but for the most part, I do like playing sniper. If I see a zoanthrope hanging out, I will use camo just to take it out as quickly as possible. But for the most part, if I'm playing heavy, different situation. Like if I'm using a Melta on a heavy, that zoanthrope is pretty rough for me to take out, unless I take out every single enemy that is currently aggroed on me. So yeah, definitely got to keep an eye on priority targets. Definitely got to keep an eye on what enemies your teammates ping, because it could be either a call for help or a this needs to get off the table sort of situation. So yeah, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this, and thanks for watching.